The Oakland A's have the lowest payroll in all of Major League Baseball, and my job today is to make it even lower and get them back to the playoffs. We're entering season 2 of this franchise, and while we were last in our division, there are plenty of reasons for optimism as we made several key trades. It was opening day against the White Sox, and trade deadline acquisition Jose Suarez was on the mound and was looking for an even better season than last year. We had a new all-star leadoff hitter, and it was an absolute miracle that we could sign him in free agency. I wanted to dump all 4 of our top contracts on the team and then invest that money back into the roster. Amed Rosario is one of the best young shortstops in the league, and he absolutely raked last year. Cleveland was absolutely lowballing him, so we signed him for pretty cheap. Ramon Urias was another trade deadline deal last season, and he played really well down the stretch for us. He was aboard with a single. We signed Jax Groshans in free agency to be our backup catcher, and he actually made the opening day roster, smacking an RBI double into the left center gap. We scored 2 runs, and the new additions are coming in clutch early. Jose Suarez was pitching a shutout in the bottom of the 6th, and he collected another strikeout. Their starter was getting tired in the 6th inning, and Vinny P took advantage, slapping a single up the middle. Then with a full count, fellow trade deadline acquisition Trace Thompson took a walk to get 2 aboard. Ramon Urias was up next, and he added another hit to his resume, slapping one up the first base line, collecting an RBI as we secure the opening day shutout 3-0. We were last in our division last season, and we were already down 4-0 in our first game against the Houston Astros. Amed Rosario slapped a single right by the third baseman to get 2 aboard. Vinny P was our team MVP last season, and he was committed to doing it again, smacking this one into deep center field, and the 2-run double cuts this lead to just 2 runs. Vinny was an all-star last season, but he's thinking MVP. Houston scored another run, and Amed Rosario was up to the plate 2 for 2 on the day, make it 3 for 3. He keeps hitting. Vinny P once again had the chance to be a hero, and he grounded one right at the shortstop, but Pena made a fantastic play to leave 2 runners on, end the inning, and we lose against Houston. That win made them 11-3 to start the year, while we were just hanging on at 7-9. We needed every win we could get in a very competitive AL West, and this was a great game against the D-backs. Vinny P just continued to deliver, smacking a single into left field as second-year player Lou Simon dug for third to put runners at the corners. Richard Keenan was up to bat, and he hit one high and deep to right field. Will it stay fair? It will not. Absolutely heartbreaking as Trace Thompson made good contact to left field, but missed a chance to get runs on the board. We were down 1-0 in the 2nd inning, and Ramon Urias just continues to produce. We were getting tons of production from our bats, but just some bad luck as Lou Simon got picked off from second base, and we keep losing base runners. We were down 4-0 in the bottom of the 7th, desperately needing a comeback. Rosario managed to drop a single and get 2 aboard. Vinny P was desperate to put us on the board, and he smashed this cutter deep into right center field, and the 3-run blast cuts the lead to just 1. However, our bullpen was not delivering as Tate's full count walk loaded the bases, and then on the next at-bat, a 4-pitch walk, scored a run, and secured our fate 5-3. We only scored 3 runs on 12 total hits. Many of the games we won last year were just not going our way, and this was with 2 all-star hitters and 2 guys on hot streaks. This offseason, we wanted to make our payroll even cheaper, and Matt Manning's a player who plays way above his ratings. We gave up Blackburn and Ramon Laureano, who both have good potential, in exchange for easily our best starting pitcher so far. However, the rest of our rotation was just not cutting it as James Caprillion gave up a 5-run 6th inning to Texas, and it goes to show that no matter how hard you hit the ball, pitching wins championships. I made a big trade for a potential starting center fielder this offseason in Leody Taveras because we really needed all the help we could get. He had a down year and Texas was ready to give up on him, so we made the deal and he's off to a very fast start in Oakland. We only won 7 games in the month of May, and the season was sinking fast. We had a way better roster than last year, but so many 1-run games were just not going our way. We were down 1 run against Houston in the top of the 9th, and Lou Simon did the one thing he could not do, grounding into a double play, losing us the game. Simon was pretty good last year, but completely fell off in year 2. Simon had a chance for redemption in extra innings against the Twins, and he hits a high slider right up the middle to put runners at the corners. Then with 1 out, DH Richard Keenan was up to bat and took one for the team to load the bases. Ramon Urias could end this game in 1 swing, but got jammed inside, and we once again leave runners on base. We absolutely needed to win this game because we were in danger of being the worst team in all of baseball. We were down 1 run in the 11th inning, and Rule 5 draft pickup Justin Foscue drove in an RBI to tie the game. We were once again down 1 run in the 12th inning when Lou Simon came up big yet again, trying to turn his season around, tying up the game. Our bullpen loaded the bases in the top of the 13th, but thankfully Acevedo forced a soft ground out to end the inning. We were tied in the bottom of the 13th, and Lawrence Butler had a chance chance to win it. Butler was playing terribly after winning AL Rookie of the Year. Butler completely missed trying to dig out a 1-2 changeup, and Oakland ran out of chances as Minnesota got the win. We were dead last in our division nearing the All-Star break as an Ahmed Rosario double put runners at second and third in a tie game. We loaded up the bases, and with one out, Trace Thompson dropped the single into left field, which scored 2 runs and ended the shutout. Lawrence Butler's struggles continued in this game, but he smacked a single back the other way, which drove in another run as we beat the Blue Jays 3-0. We were approaching the trade deadline, and we were on pace to be one of the worst teams in history of baseball, so it was time for some major changes. Our team needed a ton of help, so I made some deals at the trade deadline that helped us stay in this game against the Astros. Brendan Donovan was on the block, and this really intrigued me because we had 2 Rule 5 draft players starting at second base. He was really cheap to trade for because he's a C potential, and we got a really solid contact bat. Donovan was aboard for another new player in Pavin Smith, but he grounded it to the shortstop to get a 6-4-3 double play. Smith is another really good contact player who I view as a better version of Lou Simon, who's one of the players that we gave up to acquire Smith, and while I'm disappointed that I'm moving on from him, I couldn't wait around for 550 OPS. Lawrence Butler's still on the team, but he's going to be primarily a pinch runner, which is definitely disappointing considering he won Rookie of the Year. Our bullpen gave up 3 more runs, and Ahmed Rosario was up to bat, and he did what he did best, slapping a single to right field, putting runners at the corners in the 7th. However, the biggest trade we made at the deadline was trading Shintaro Fujinami and Shea Langeliers for Jake McCarthy, whose fly ball deep into right field scored a run. He's the best player we've ever traded for and offers a clutch bat and very, very good speed in the outfield. We lost this game 8-6, but our promising new additions to the offense had me optimistic for the future. Not only was our team quickly improving, but we were actually cheaper than Oakland in real life, keeping our ownership happy. We were up 1 in the 7th against Houston, and all-star Ahmed Rosario walloped one into the left field bleachers, showing that he can do more than hit singles, extending our lead. Then the other all-star representative, rookie Richard Keenan, anything you can do, I can do better, elevates on the high slider, and it leaves the yard to right field. We extend our lead, and we finally beat Houston 8-6. Trading Fujinami left us without a 5-man rotation, and I couldn't pass on Hayden Wesneski on the trade block. We saved money giving up Trace Thompson and one of our best pitching prospects to upgrade a rotation that has really held back Vinny P and the rest of the offense. We were down 1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, and Brendan Donovan turned on a changeup to drive in a run and send us to extra innings. However, while we upgraded our roster with new changes, this team still had a long way to go. We lost another. We made a huge change in September, calling up our best prospect, Tyler Soderstrom, but even with the new improvements to our lineup, we could only put up 2 runs against the Cubs, and our best reliever, Dylan Tate, gave up a big walk-off home run. Nabil Krismat was really the only reliever on the trade block that I was interested in, and while I made the move for him, it really didn't make a difference as this season was already more than lost. We shed our payroll, we kept our ownership happy, but our fans have to go another year of misery as we somehow lost over 100 games. This team is sad.